We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us.
They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. What's going on? It is Monday night. It is March 9th, 2026. You are tuned into the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast, your source for movie bullshit. I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
I'm Slick Doggy the Grip.
And we're back. We're back in the studio. We both saw movies. Can you believe it?
That's true.
There was some movies out that we had talked about seeing, and I solemnly swore to go see a movie for you guys. I saw Scream 7. We talked about that last week. And this week I saw The Bride, exclamation point. So we're going to be talking about that later in the program. So get ready for that. And what'd you see, man?
I did not go see a movie because the Bride was the only movie to go see. Thanks, Vince. But I did watch a movie. I watched a new movie. I watched War Machine with Alan Ritchson.
Better watch out. Did they play the Kiss song at all?
Oh, man, they really should have.
Oh, they didn't? I thought you were about to say, but they really did. Because you remember, what was
it
that
would have
movie?
fit. It actually would have fit in a place or two.
Well, you remember the movie with, Louiseums, his name. He's everybody. He was handsome in The Notebook, and
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, yeah, he was the stunt man. Was it called The Stunt Man?
It was the remake of the TV show about a stunt man. It was called The Something Man.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Kiss.
But they played "I Was Made for Loving You, Baby,"
Yeah.
like 800 different ways,
And it was awesome every time.
And yeah, because that song is kind of awesome every time. Fall Guy, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, even the 16-minute long Australia cut.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, it's, we could just do this all day. This is the podcast
the two of us
episode.
really could. Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to give it all to you in this podcast.
If there's a time that we don't have something to talk about, we should have a wheel of things to talk about. It'll be like Lord of the Rings, Kiss,
Star Wars, Bill and Ted.
Oh, yeah, Bill and Ted would be good.
Vampires.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, all the swing. Yeah, just a bunch of dumb shit.
Reefer comedies.
Man, we should get a wheel. Why don't we have a wheel for like the people?
That's actually a really good idea.
For those of you that maybe just be tuning in for the first time, looking at you, Nico, or watching on YouTube, or if you're just downloading the Spotify podcast, you don't understand what's happening here. There's a chat. We do this live. We record this thing live. We Bill O'Reilly this thing, and we don't edit this. We don't use AI. We don't do any of the stuff. We just hit go, and then we record for an hour, and we talk to you about movies. And we need a wheel. That's what needs to happen. We just
That's a good idea, or make it like a Twitch reward or something like that.
Yeah, it's like you cash in your Twitch points to spin the wheel. Then all of a sudden, like the whole show just becomes wheel.
Yeah,
Wheel of topics. You know what? I'm pretty sure I have a freaking wheel around here somewhere. Did I get rid of it? Do you remember the huge wheel, the huge drive-in speaker box wheel that I had? I think it was two. I think I got rid of it. I think I finally did. And now we need a wheel, and I don't have one.
Well, we can figure something. We can add Judge Dredd and Batman to it.
Of course. Mark Landry over on YouTube. I seem to remember a custom-made wheel from the trivia days. Yeah, because it was badass. Because, I don't know, some really awesome genius guy that I know that can make everything on the planet, we made it, and I think it was in storage, and I think that it got a little honky-jonky in the chassis, and then I think I sold it to somebody, or... Yeah, it used to live in here. Maybe it's still around. Maybe
I remember seeing it over.
I don't get rid of things very easily, so it might actually be in Goshen. It was the wheel of punishment and reward. Yeah, that was badass. Thanks, Mr. Landry. Actually, text me. I have a project for you. So Yeah, we should do that. I could probably do an overlay, an animation, but I don't want to do that because that requires time. I'd rather just pay someone else to make a physical object, you know, because I tried to do like a dice roller thing that was like an overlay animation for when we did Dungeons and Dragons. Remember when we did Dungeons and Dragons for like 1 second here? Do I still have that overlay? Where is that overlay?
Two or three times.
Yeah, where's the overlay? I know I had it. It was cool, and I did all these different deals. Oh yeah, it was like this. Yeah, there was the overlay, right? And you know, we had the whole thing. The overlay never worked because you had to like hit buttons, and yeah, whatever, dude. Technology's stupid. To answer your question, Vince, no, we're not still doing that. We don't have time for it, and it's just a whole thing. But anyway, let's talk about movies. God damn it. Isn't this what this show's supposed to be about?
Sure.
The pre-show's about all this nonsensical jabber-jawing.
The debate in your head of whether to call it BS, horse crap,
him-hawing,
yeah,
jabber-jawing. Yeah, what happened this week? I know
what
you
happened
got your
this
piece of
week?
paper.
Hey, well, you know what's going to happen?
I'm just gonna finish all of this bourbon because Merle's not here. I'm drinking this in honor of Merle, one of our Twitch subscribers.
Yeah, rip Merle. No, that's not real. Something that's going to happen this week is that Zootopia 2 will invade your home if you have Disney Plus, because now that it's made several $1 billion at the box office.
More than $1 billion. That's the thing.
Almost 2. So now it's going to head to the home, available on Disney Plus starting on the 11th already. So you can watch that, and Disney can just claim all of the stream dollars and not have to share it with anyone else. And then something that happened last week, I feel like it happened in time for us to talk about last week, but maybe wasn't enough to talk about. But on a slower news week like this one, The Mummy 4 has been confirmed to pretend that The Mummy 3 does not exist. So
that's the best news all week.
Yeah, it's sticking with the
but poor Jet Li though.
Just the Egyptology, not worrying about Chinese mummies. So
well,
poor Jet Li.
What they fought a Yeti, and then it was like they tried to make a mythos around what's the artifact of the 1,000 Stone Army or whatever that actually exists.
I've watched the third movie one time.
Yeah, I saw it in the theaters, and I tried to revisit it once, I think, on DVD when it hit DVD, and when we still cared about physical media, which we will again, trust me, as our AI overlords pay, as they're scooping up data centers and the price of, cloud storage goes. That's a whole nother conversation, but it's coming. Get your DVDs ready. But yeah, I've only seen it twice, and that movie doesn't. It sucks.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's not good.
Well, but talking about the physical media thing, because AI and streaming is just getting out of hand and super crazy. Hey, this whole WB Paramount merger thing, it was confirmed in a investor call by the old CEO of Paramount that everything will be under a single streaming service. So HBO again will be folded into something else. So it will no longer be an HBO Max. It will be its own independently operating company, but will be under the branch of Paramount streaming service. So it'll be like one of the selections when you go into Paramount. You can have HBO as its.
So how does that work? Because so far Amazon has really been the only one that I think is doing a pretty decent job of going like, all right, well, you want to subscribe within your subscription. So you've got like Prime, and you're going through Prime Video, and it's like, oh, well, you've got an MGM Plus add-on to your subscription. You've got, like cable, and then you can go to the different channels of whatever, as if this is a new concept. But I don't. What if you want to like subscribe to, you've got HBO added on to your Prime, like some people, and then you want to go sub Paramount Plus Prime Max, like how does this?
Who knows? But that will be how it will be. So,
Dang it.
yeah, the HBO, WB stuff will all be brought in under the Paramount streaming service. But at least you don't have to have too many streaming services. Found out, though, that HBO reportedly is one of the more successful streaming services because it had anywhere from like 150 to 200 million subscribers. And it was doing just fine in the stream wars.
Yeah.
Though, I've held on to HBO from Game of Thrones days and just never gotten rid of it. And every time I start to get rid of it, I'm like, oh, wait a second, there's a movie that I might watch. Or, oh, wait, DC animated is a thing that I want to have
They always
access
get
to.
you with, I feel like, well, because they monitor us always, they know when we're about to like get phased out of attention. They go, nah, we gotta save this one thing. It's like abusive exes where they're just like, we're gonna save that I'm sorry and that bundle of flowers just for that moment where you're thinking about walking away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, or like I'm like, well, I got rid of WWE because I'm not a millionaire and I can't afford to spend $50 on ESPN just to watch WWE every once in a while. I'll keep HBO so I can watch AEW maybe in case I get that wrestling itch. But now I guess I'll just get rid of it, not worry about it, and who cares? Vince,
you know what? I wonder, now that we're all like neighbors in the building, can we
subscriptions because we're so close to each other?
I was gonna say, what if we pool our resources to get like mega fast like wireless, and then because then we can all be password sharing because we're all on the same IP address because we're all on the same Wi-Fi, so we can still have our profiles and stuff. But then it's not going to ping us because we're coming through the same Wi-Fi. I just cracked the code. This is how we
pay to have business internet.
Yes.
Shared.
Okay,
Yes.
America, the revolution starts here. This is how we get them.
And we just told them our plan.
Because as none of us can afford to live in homes anymore, we're all going to be packed in like sardines to
Kowloon City, baby.
That's right. We're going to be on stacked like boxes like in Ready Player One. And what we do is we pool our resources together, get really good internet, and then we all share our passwords again.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
We did it. I figured it out. Because this is how I've cracked Movie Pass, and I'm still not going to tell you how I did it. This is the total secret. It's dying with me. But I've done it, and I'll do it again.
Vince asked, since we were talking about the Mummy, how do we feel that the Scorpion King holds up? It is in the Mummy verse. So the movie, The Scorpion King, I personally really like that movie because it's just a dumb, fun action movie. It's low stakes. It's high adventure. I like it. Scorpion King it's just like
Scorpion King, the story is pretty good. Scorpion King, the CGI.
No, terrible. That part.
Can we just, if AI is going to do anything for us, can we get AI to just like
upscale
Scorpion King?
Yeah, that would be great. That's the only down part of Mummy 2 is the poor CGI of the
Where
Scorpion
he comes
King
out
at the
and
end.
he's on the top of that body and he's like blah, 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 blah.
But the little dudes are cool. Everything else about Mummy 2 is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But Scorpion King, the movie, I really like it.
Those little dudes were just a throwback to Trilogy of Terror with the little Zuni dolls that like with the knives.
They were my favorite part of Mummy 2. So, but yes, I do really like Scorpion King. I think it's fun.
In the comments, Mark Landry said, what we need to do is win a UHF TV station in a poker game, which is a hilarious reference, except for nobody's TV picks up UHF anymore. But you know what I do have in the studio right now? A pirate FM transmitter. So we could actually go back and broadcast drive-in speaker box pirate radio style every Monday night on, like, if you lived within 2 miles of where we're here. And which is a pretty big radius.
Vince says he's welcomed the ant overlords and working in the sugar mines, like the giant ants, like 40s and 50s sci-fi, like massive ants.
Like theremin ants?
Maybe, I don't know. Oh yes, yeah, for sure. UHF, you know something about UHF though? They got it all on UHF.
They do got it all on UHF.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of streaming, you know what you can get on VOD starting this week. Tomorrow is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Already, yep. They pulled it. It's out of theaters, on streaming tomorrow. It'll hit physical media in April. So yeah, I like that movie. I recommend people check it out. There wasn't a whole lot of interesting news. I saw something that I thought wasn't news. Hey, thanks for the sub, Night Ashley on Twitch.
Big push.
You had the thought.
Well, I was gonna say streaming stuff. Here next year, it's confirmed that Voltron, the live-action Henry Cavill Amazon Voltron series, is planning to be available next year.
Who wanted that?
I don't know, dude, but I'm gonna tell you something. I really like tokusatsu style stuff. I like Voltron. I like
Power
Super
Rangers.
Sentai. I like Kamen
Super
Rider.
Hentai?
Super Sentai.
Oh,
That's the name
Super
of
Senpai?
No, Sentai.
Oh.
That's the name of Power Rangers in Japan.
Oh.
Is Super Sentai.
Super Hentai Senpai?
Yes.
Okay.
No, man, I like all of that tokusatsu stuff. Like Sailor Moon style stuff, Voltron, Gatchaman, anything like that. The Kamen Rider stuff,
Yeah.
Ultraman, anything. So as long as they don't screw it up and they keep it true to some like tokusatsu roots, it might be cool. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe Henry Cavill's like just secretly like a big
Voltron nerd?
tokusatsu
He's
fan.
just a super nerd,
Yeah.
which I guess is why we like
I mean, it's
him.
been around since the 70s. Like, the first tokusatsu I can think of is Kamen Rider came out in 71. And I don't know if there was something preceding that as one of those style shows. But, yeah, man, it rules, and it's been successful for a long time. So maybe he can keep that going.
I mean,
Henry
I
Cavill somehow involved in every story Jake brings up. Dude, it's because
Henry Cavill is involved in everything.
He
that
just
Jake
jumped
is
into all of the franchises. Like,
Yeah.
Highlander is just something that I absolutely love. I like Highlander. I like the TV series. The anime is kind of cool. Some of the movies are okay. After the first one, you know, the Renegade edition. I like the scene where Sean Connery and
Sean Connery.
Christopher Lambert count how many bullets they were riddled with, and I think that's fun. Warhammer is incredible, and I really like it.
You do really like Warhammer.
Yeah, I used to like comic books quite a bit.
I think I might have some. No, I don't have any Necrons around here. I was like, I used to have a box of like Necrons. I was just gonna let you have them.
Hell yeah!
I think
dude.
I got a Necron book around here. You can have. It's an old one.
Sick, dude. Yeah,
Just more books. I'm just gonna keep giving you books.
That's fine
tonight.
I've bought like 3 more bookshelves to continue putting my crap out on display. But yeah, man, he's getting involved in all of these long-running franchises that happen to make up a large portion of my interest. Though I was never big into Witcher. I have all of the games, but I'm not like
into the show.
Yeah, I'm not like
the
a
last
big
season of the
Witcher
show. I didn't
person.
really enjoy with the not Henry Cavill Witcher.
Yeah, and like they're
That's
okay
whatever.
games, but I never like got heavy into them. Be like, oh, the Witcher is so cool, blah blah. Like I was just like,
It's fun.
sword murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to this isn't really news, but it is something that aggravates me. I saw because I read Slash Film a lot. That's where I get a lot of our news. What you go to? What Real? What's the one? That
A couple places, but the main one I check is Screen Rant, and I have to sift through a lot of their.
I don't like Screen Rant a lot
bull
because
crap, like written by a 15-year-old to get a.
Well, and that's my point. And we've said this on the show before. Is nothing drives me more insane than when I read articles that are like from trusted, quote unquote, trusted, film journalism places, and they're talking about movies, they're talking about things, and I'm like, you clearly don't know anything about this, do you?
Yeah, and they write their articles like they're trying to get the word count in for an essay in high school, where they rephrase the prompt.
Well, and that used to be the thing. So one of my good buddies, actually, one of the previous co-hosts here used to write for Cracked.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did that a couple times.
And then his buddy wrote for Cracked for a long time. And that was the thing. It's like you had to fill up an article to get if you were going to get paid. But one of these articles, it was like Gilligan's Island creator made a bold claim about the show's educational value, and it was talking about like, oh, but the show creator believed that it had an educational value, and it went on to like kind of talk about the director or the creator of the show saying that. But what they left out of this story is that back then, and this goes into a whole world of like Saturday morning cartoons and why we come from a superior generation of people, is that there was a federal mandate where on Saturday mornings and other certain morning hours that networks had to provide educational content. That's where we got like Beekman's World and Bill Nye the Science Guy and Mr. Wizard's World and so, but the studios hated this, right? So this is a thing that they just couldn't stand it because we don't want to make this stuff. We want to make fun, exciting bullshit that's we don't have to think about. We could just go coconuts and boobies. And so what they did was they started trying to sell different shows as having educational value. Like one was the Flintstones. They tried to pitch the Flintstones as an educational show. And again, it got through the paperwork, but it was because every episode had a good moral of the story about family, right? And so it's educational in the sense that it's teaching you how to be a better person through their narrative. And, the professor and all his dumb shenanigans. I read that article. I'm like, I'm sure it was just them trying to
survive on an island.
Yeah,
invent this thing that like the professor did.
Exactly. But what they leave out of the story is like the only reason these bold claims were made. Of course, Gilligan's Island wasn't educational, but the real story is talking about how these producers of these shows had to jump through loopholes back in the day to get their shows aired by meeting certain criteria. Like when you actually know history about like it's a more fascinating story. And when I'm scrubbing through film news and I see like articles like that, I'm like, why are we not more famous? Because we know more than these people. But people are like going, well, we'll go to Screen Rant,
dude,
where they can't stop sucking James Gunn's wiener every time.
Oh man. That was something in the news too, is that they talked old Zack Snyder into saying that he thinks James Gunn is cool and a good choice. But
yeah, he's like, James Gunn is a really good choice.
You know how last week I said that Justice League 2 and 3 in my version may yet happen, and another like another Superman? I was wrong. I was so wrong. James Gunn has it in the bag, and he's going to do a far better job than I ever could have. And I'm glad that he took over the universe, and there's no more Snyderverse ever. Yeah,
that's how that went down.
Yeah. I was thinking it's very funny to think that all the 60s television that I grew up with would try and justify some sort of educational merit. They'd be like, well, Batman really taught the audience. Batman really did, educate people on
Gillis
morality.
Really taught us about.
But really, it was like moral lessons, but it wasn't educational, really.
But if you think about compared to today, like,
well, at least there was some substance.
There's some substance and consequence. I mean, I watched some, TikTok reel from some Gen Alpha idiot, and they were just like, look at these crazy things that our parents grew up on, and it's like Artax like drowning, and then the Terminator's thumb going down, and like all these things, and they're like, oh, how traumatic. And you go, yes, because it's teaching you how to be a human being.
Yeah, kids are like, this is why our parents can't connect emotionally. They watched a horse drown and a Terminator die, and you're just like, why you got to bring that up?
Yeah,
dude?
Why you got to go to school?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you can't. Remote work.
They said the audio
Guns.
listeners are missing some real good hand gun to head work.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly the stuff that they missed when you listen to the Snyder say what he said. They didn't see the gun.
That's true. I guess that's true.
Okay, well, there wasn't a lot. And do you have anything else that you want to talk about in news?
The only thing is they had announced on Twitter that Sonic 4 has begun filming.
Well, we all knew that. Well, the real question is, what version of Jim Carrey's face are we going to get as Dr. Robotnik if he comes back?
I mean, he said he retired before he came back for the last one. So is he going to?
I bet he retired from everything but Sonic the Hedgehog.
Does Robotnik have to be the bad guy? It's like making Joker the bad guy in everything Batman. Does it have to be a Robotnik in everything? I mean, I guess in every Sonic game almost. Robotnik or Eggman is probably like.
Well, I mean that's he's the big bad, but they've bridged the like now he's the good. Then it was his dad that's the bad. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fun and we'll love it, but they've been doing a pretty good job with those.
I still need to watch the third one. I haven't watched it.
It's pretty good. I just spoiled it because they have to do a team up. against Dr. Robotnik's dad.
Yeah, Grampy Eggman.
That's right, because we are the sins of our fathers is a classic movie trope, and then there you have it. Not that we read books and know film theory or anything. We'd rather talk about like
Well,
Star Trek phasers.
It's funny because I was reading Vince's comment about like telling someone, asking if they've seen Citizen Kane and saying, is that an old movie? Yeah, it's hard to talk about movies. I was hanging out with a friend the other day, and she was telling me, like, man, in Lord of the Rings, the way that they like do this like specific type of music at the time that this is happening, and she's like, I really like how that is. I'm like, yeah, it was done by design. You're starting to understand film, and it's like
Did she leave the room?
No, but it was like you have the music at different volumes, and it crescendos and it wanes, and it has different like speeds and stuff to it. Also, the lighting, the way that it hits people, or the way that the camera views people, and it's like some people the camera will look up at, some people the camera will look down at, and some people it meets on eye level so that you can connect with them. And I was like, this is what makes film cool.
Cinema.
And such yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, now you understand cinema.
And she was like, I've never been drier, check please.
Yeah, 100%. But
no, but that literally happened to me like not too long ago. I was going on some dates with this girl. I thought things were going really well, and then she asked me about this movie or whatever, and I was like, oh well, it's very self-aware in certain blah 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 blah, and then it's kind of meta, and then she's like, she literally told me she got the ick from that conversation. And I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I can totally get into film theory and the way that movies work. And we used to do that on this show because it's something like Lord of the Rings movies. It's like, yeah, if you notice when this show's on screen, it's playing that song overall, but it has tones in the background of another theme. And I was like, and the light hits it this way, and that person's viewed like this, and it's all crafting a way to make you have an emotional attachment, and you're feeling things while you're seeing things, but you're hearing other things, and you don't realize it, and it makes you connect with the movie because now you're part of the story, and you're part of that world, and you're living it with that character. And there's so many things. And yeah, people are like, okay, dude.
Meanwhile,
like,
Hoppers.
Would you give it 5 stars or what, though?
Meanwhile, Zootopia made $2 billion.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in. Well, speaking of movies, let's tell you what comes out in theaters this weekend, because that's what we do. This weekend, the Friday, March 13th, 2026, we do have a couple of movies coming out. Nothing like huge. Undertone, probably the most like advertised of all the movies. It's the horror sci-fi, thriller where it's like somebody's recording. It's like EVP but for podcast people. So for all these like Gen Alpha, Gen Zs that don't know what electro voice phenomena is because they've never heard of an analog recording device, Undertone is the answer to that. So what was that movie White Noise with Michael Keaton? And
okay, I was about to say, but I wasn't sure if that's
Michael Keaton. It was like, I think it was called White Noise, and it was a movie about EVP. But even then, it came in at a time where analog recordings were pretty bad. But anyway, to connect with younger audiences, it's like, let's tell an EVP story, but with podcasting, because podcasts. So yeah, it's just a EVP ghost story, but about podcasts. It's called Undertone. It's coming out in theaters this week. Then we also, on YouTube, Mark Landry just commented. He says, I only watch movies for the red-tailed hawks and the Wilhelm screams. So which is hilarious, because those are audio designer inside jokes, where there was the Wilhelm scream
has to show up in everything.
And then the red-tailed hawk is there's only one recording that they always use. They could go get, there's more recordings out there.
Bird.
But the squaw, like when there's a desert scene or whatever, it's always that same sound bank.
Yeah, there's also the noises they play for any jungle, and the animals do not match that jungle. All this. There's a really interesting YouTube video about they going back and discovering all of the origins of the Wilhelm scream and how it was like some sound thing that you could mail order to use, and there was like 2 or 3 versions of it, and they're like, well, here's the longer version, here's the most common. It's
The Wilhelm scream is
incredibly
pretty cool.
interesting. Yeah.
But anyway, also coming out in theaters this week is Reminders of Him. And it's starring the dude from, what was that show? The Outer Banks. He's in it, Rudy Pankow. And then him and Micah Monroe are like lovers. And then they get in a car accident, and he dies and she lives. And Bradley Whitford, who I haven't seen since Big, when he was the like shithead like handball. Was he not the handball playing dickhead?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
He was in Billy Madison. He was the bad guy in Billy Madison.
He's the shithead dickhead in a whole lot of movies.
Yeah, he's also.
I'm pretty sure he was in Big.
He's Andy Samberg's dad in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm clicking his IMDb right now. We scrolling. We finding out when was Big. 1980 what?
Something.
Oh, was he not in Big?
No, dude. I think he was in.
Who was the dickhead in Big?
The handball thing is in Billy Madison because they make fun of him for like his balls hanging out and everything. You're thinking of Billy Madison. There wasn't really a dickhead in Big. There was the dude,
there was the dickhead in Big, and he goes,
the dad from Home Alone.
He comes to the meeting and he's like, I don't get it. You know, and
I think it was the dad from Home Alone.
He played. Let's see where,
but not the dude from.
I'm looking
not
it up.
not
I'm looking
Whitford.
it up right now.
Night Owl Sleep.
But they look really, really similar.
I don't think
Oh, it's John Hurd.
The dad from Home Alone.
Yeah, okay. So they play a lot of the same characters of just like insufferable dickheads. But I guess John Hurd's dead. Damn, I didn't realize that. R.I.P. John Hurd. He died in 2017. What? That was just life falling apart.
We gotta put that back on the shelf. We play with it too much.
Oh, well, it's right here.
Yeah.
It was our phaser that fell. Yeah. So anyway, okay, Bradley Whitford. Anyway, this movie it's just like sad, and then there's a hot dude that comes into play and he looks like he's right off the set of one of these Hallmark movies where he's like, I moved back to my hometown and flannel shirt wearing guy taught me about love. But turns out he was best friends with the guy that died, and then they find out and they're like, oh, it's forbidden love now. I can't bone you because you were my best friend's like babe-alicious, and I've been looking after your kid since you've been in jail this whole time. But then they just misunderstood me. This movie looks like romance bullshit, and I hate it. So Reminders of Him coming out this weekend. Also coming out, The Gates. If you've not seen the trailer for this, it is 3 friends on a road trip. It turns terrifying as they witness a murder in a gated community. It's this huge gated community that they're trying to get inside, but it's written and directed by John Burr, and it's these like 3 black dudes that go into a gated community. They witness this white dude killing this chick, and he's like the pastor of the town, and and everybody's like, nah, you didn't see nothing, did you, black guys? And then it turns out James Vanderbeek, and Yep, and this is his last movie that we'll see in theaters. So James Vanderbeek is playing a murderous pastor in a small town community in this new film, The Gates. So I guess there's a lot of different gates, and they can't get out, and so they're all these racist white dudes are hunting down these 3 black guys in this community and trying to get him because they witnessed James Vanderbeek kill this lady. So that's your movies.
There's a movie with a guy that you like, though.
Which one?
Steve Coogan.
What? We're not getting this movie. Yeah, okay. So Saipan is also coming out, but it's a soccer movie, so I'm not a big fan of that. But it's about Irish captain Roy Keane forfeiting his place in the squad of the team's preparation base in Saipan following a heated disagreement with the Irish manager Mick McCarthy. It happened in the 2002 World Cup. It does have Steve Coogan playing.
Maybe not a comedy role.
No. I mean, well, he's always just a dickhead. but I like him.
Like in Hamlet too. He's a total doucher. But that movie's so
Have
good.
you guys ever seen? Anybody seen Tristram Shandy, A Cock and Bull Story? It's an old one of Steve Coogan's, and I really, really like it. I haven't seen it in a long time. I think I have it on DVD around here somewhere. I don't even know if it's on streaming.
Yeah.
But it's a very good movie.
I can say with 100% assurity that I've not heard of or seen trailers of any of those movies coming out this weekend.
Yeah, not a
I
strong weekend.
Really got to try hard to figure something out to watch for you guys for next week.
Not a strong weekend.
All of those movies.
Well, with that said, let's review some movies. Let's talk about the movies. I mean, obviously, War Machine. Probably. I mean, it's a streaming movie. It's been out for a little bit, right?
Yeah. No, it came out. It came out this past like Thursday or Friday. I think Friday. I can get through it.
Okay. Well, let's get in it. Let's jump in.
Yeah. So I watched War Machine. It's the new
Netflix.
Yeah, it's the new movie with Alan Ritchson, Netflix original. All this. It's he's a soldier and he's going through Ranger training, and they stumble across this like super weapon, and then crazy action ensues. So it opens up. He's like a combat engineer, and he's in a war zone. He's out there fixing a vehicle because it turns out his brother, his actual little brother, is the one that was driving this car, screwed it up. He's there to fix it. They talk about going through Ranger training because they made promises to each other, and even though they're getting too old, it's now or never to apply to go through Ranger training and become a Ranger, because they promised each other when they signed up that they would go through Ranger training and become Rangers together. And then, of course, 2 seconds later, his brother is murdered horribly in an ambush.
As they do.
Could not see it coming at all. It was not telegraphed one bit. 100% you saw it. Like, you're like, oh, Jai Courtney's in this? He wasn't advertised, but why would you? Also, the way the camera's posed, you're like, this dude's going to die, because that's how the story starts.
Yeah, and also
100%.
Esai Morales is in this, and he's always a bad guy.
He's the butthead sergeant dude.
Of course, always a bad guy.
But he's barely in it.
Okay.
Same thing with
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. He's the next level up. He's the boss of Esai Morales.
Okay.
And they're just like the hardcore like dudes in charge of the Ranger training. And so after his brother dies and he goes through his like rehabilitation through the hospital for the shrapnel that shredded his knee, he goes and he's accepted, and now he's going through Ranger training, and he's distant and everything among everyone, and they're going on their final training, and throughout the movie, big spoiler alert here that you find out in the first 7 minutes, but they act like it's a reveal. It's not a military weapon, it's a friggin' alien. This movie is...
It's aliens?
It's Predator as a robot / Edge of Tomorrow / I had another idea of what movie it is, but it's like Robot Predator Edge of Tomorrow.
They should have led with that.
Here's the thing. Also in the news, they did interviews with the writer and everything of this movie who were like, yeah, we didn't want to give up the alien reveal that early in the movie.
Yeah, but this movie looks so boring otherwise.
It's very monotone as far as like movie goes. So they wanted to sprinkle it and then have the big reveal towards the end of it. They wanted to work it towards a crescendo of being like, oh, by the way, it's aliens. But in this movie, the whole time they're like, oh, there's a crazy asteroid that's just circling the Earth, and it looks weird, and the scientists had no idea it was even coming, but now it's breaking off into little pieces, and scientists think maybe it's not just one asteroid, but it's a bunch of pieces, and you're like, what could it ever be? And then they watch these comets hit the ground or whatever, like meteors, whatever you want to call them, and they come across this big thing, and they're like, let's blow it up, because that's our mission. Turns out their mission's 100 feet away. Crazy coincidence. And so they try to blow it up, and they activate the murder bot. And they're in the wild of Colorado on this Ranger training. And immediately the entire group is wiped out except for like 7 people. And then each one of them is picked off until finally it's down to just Alan Ritchson.
Of course.
And one wounded dude. Because
so it's Predator.
It's exactly Predator.
Get to the chopper!
If Predator was a robot. It even has the laser thing where it turns red on someone and then launches like a missile through their body. Yeah, so some people explode, some people have limbs ripped off, some people have big holes put in them, and it's everyone that's crucial to their survival at that point in the story. They're like, we need a radio, hole through the radio guy in the radio. We need this person, that person's blasted in half, and it's just constant. And they're like,
we need some tobacco so we can be a sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, and it takes them forever to figure out that it's an alien, and then it has the like ultimate callback where the way that he defeats the alien is, he's like, it's just like that time at the beginning of the movie. Let's make it happen. Overall, as a concept, it is very dumb. It's very bland. They're like, you remember those ranger training montages we did? Here's all of that in action. It's definitely like a mix of an advertisement for join the army / like, wouldn't Edge of Tomorrow suck? Because these things are attacking all over the world.
Yeah.
And Alan Richardson's character, who does not get a name. None of the characters receive names.
They all had numbers.
They have numbers.
He was number 81.
And then at the end of the movie, they even go, did anyone catch his name? And that's how the movie ends. It's the dumbest thing. But so it's not a bad movie. It is a dumb, fun action movie for sure. But there's not really substance there. Alan Richardson does an amazing job. He's incredible at what he does. He is an action star. I like to see that he is being used in these types of roles because I've been a fan of his since Smallville. But is it anything super interesting? Is it unique? Anything like that? Not at all. It's Predator as a robot, but it is just dumb fun. Worth watching. You can even put it on the background. You're really not going to miss that much because it's 2 segments. It's training and then running from a robot. And you can look away for long periods of time and you're not going to miss a single thing. So it's at least something you can put on TV and kind of pay attention to here and there. You're not really going to miss anything. But it's fun enough that it's enjoyable. Watch it if you want to.
All right. Well, there you go. It's on Netflix right now. You can check it out.
There's your boy.
Oh, hey, Merle. You just tuned in. I finally finished that bottle of Basil Hayden toast.
Vince asked if it's the War Machine in Iron Man. Kind of. It's also an indestructible robot thing with a bunch of missiles. It has 2 weapons. It has Predator cannon and grenade launcher. And for something that's nearly indestructible from space, it just has really poor weapons. Because if anyone just decides to dodge, they survive every time. And if they're pressing the gas pedal, none of the bombs that it launches, the grenades it launches, explode in time to cause any real significant damage. So, yeah. Also, the crazy thing is they're like, look, it blew a hole through this mountain. It came all the way through space, tore through this mountain, killed 50 people, ripped the tank in half, and then landed in the ground 10 miles away. And then they drop a rock on it, and it breaks one of its pieces off. And it's like, okay, it can rip through a mountain, but...
That's about right.
Yeah. I guess because it was tucked. So, like I said, it's dumb, it's goofy, but it's fun enough.
Well, that's a good segue to Here Comes the Mother Effing Bride is the new film, The Bride, ! From writer-director Maggie Gyllenhaal, starring Jesse Buckley, Christian Bale. Honestly, this cast is pretty incredible. It's got Annette Bening, it's got Penelope Cruz, it's got Peter Sarsgaard, it's got Zlatko Buric, who always plays a disgusting bad guy, and he did a good job with this too.
Wasn't he the evil president in that new Superman movie?
He sure was.
Yeah.
He's always playing just that slime ball bad guy, foreign diplomat. Anyway, so The Bride. This is a 2-hour-long movie. That felt like every minute of that 2 hours. A lot of people have been talking about it. People have been going, people are walking out of the cinema in this picture.
That's why I didn't watch it. 100% would have been me.
It's 1930s Chicago. Frankenstein has been alive since the 1800s or whatever.
So in this, Frankenstein is the monster. It's not Frankenstein's monster. The monster is named Frankenstein.
No, he calls himself the monster, but he goes to Dr. Euphronius, just like in The Bride of Frankenstein, right? Like, because, in The Bride of Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein has died, right? Dr. Euphronius is the new mad scientist that makes the bride for Frankenstein. You know, he's like, partner, you know, like in the old, you know, Universal Studios. And so that's kind of on point with the story. But Mary Shelley did not write The Bride of Frankenstein. And so the problem I had with this movie is that they were trying to tie in this, you know, Mary Shelley is a ghost that speaks only kind of to the camera with a black like silhouette. But she's also very sassy, fast-talking 1920s, 30s. Like, yeah, Mary Shelley, see, I'm a mad, crazy woman. I'm a woman. I'm a powerful woman. And I'm going to get this shit with a holy shit. We're going to learn my story. And it's like, Mary Shelley, that doesn't fit because you died before the roaring 20s. And, you know, you wrote arguably one of the greatest sci-fi novels ever in, you know, very, very strict English. You know, it was one of those. Well, she was fucking like Lord Byron at the time. She wasn't like going, "Hey, my man," you know. And
When wasn't Frankenstein? It was like a contest they were having with their friends who could write like the best horror story or whatever.
Right,
And they were all like, oh, "This rules." Yeah.
And that's what it starts off with. It said in 18 whenever Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein on a dare, and it was like big letters.
I dare you to write.
But the thing that I think ruined this movie for me is that Mary Shelley was a character in the movie, and this woman in 1930 Chicago who was like kind of she was like a call girl that was witness to some mobby bullshit, some bad guyishness, and she all of a sudden while at a dinner table gets possessed by the ghost of Mary Shelley, right? Like at the dinner table, and she has this like, and Mary Shelley's like, I found my vessel, and she comes in and she gets on the table and she's like yelling and being like scramble-brained, which was, you know, arguably a pretty good performance by Jessie Buckley. It's not her fault. Like she knocked out of the park the thing that she was asked to do. The thing that she was asked to do was fucking stupid, and like that's the problem I have with this. And so here's where it also gets stupid. If Mary Shelley, the ghost, is going to occupy the brain of a 1930s, how did she like just haunt the person's brain and then she dies, and then Frankenstein manages to pick some random corpse from nowhere that also happens to be the corpse of the ghost of Mary Shelley that split personality in her brain. The split personality storyline ruined this whole movie, but it did make her like quirky and sassy and whatever. And you know, all that aside, like I was trying to get into it. I was trying to be like, well, if I can just ignore the ghost of Mary Shelley, there's some really cool like Frankenstein lore nods. There's a fun scene where they do a kind of a nod to Young Frankenstein with the putting on the Ritz bit. There's a nod to Bride of Frankenstein. There's a nod to a lot of Universal. There's a nod to Bela Lugosi's White Zombie. There's a lot of nods to some classic horror, which I was really getting into. I was like, man, this is cool. This someone did their homework. But then they did the whole thing that I hate, which I love a good girl boss movie. What is the famous quote? Like, you know, to make an amazing film, all you need is a girl and a gun. That is a very famous and very still relevant thing. Love a good girl boss. Love a good, you know, strong female character. What I don't love is when they grab you by the back of the head and they go, "Did you know this is a strong female character? Maybe you know this is a strong female character. We're gonna make you know that this is a strong female character. Yeah. We're gonna set up every situation to like kick mud in her face just so you know that she's a strong female character." And P.S. strong female character.
That's 100% why I couldn't do the movie, is because if they made her cool and just let her be cool on her own and didn't do that, but
it wasn't just her.
I knew that if I went and sat in this movie, I would feel myself becoming radicalized, and I don't want that to happen.
Well, and that was the thing, is like if they had just backed off of that, it would have been cool. Like Penelope Cruz being Penelope Cruz, who's amazing in pretty much everything that she does. she's a detective, a lady detective. And in 1930s, there weren't a whole lot of lady detectives. We should all know that because history's a thing, right? but when you get into the movie and they go, see, a lady detective? Why, I never. Oh, my gosh, who invited the lady detective here? She'll never solve a crime. And she goes, I'm the lady detective, and you're not, you're watch me be better than you. And then she does, and then another detective comes in and goes, ho, where's the detective? Oh, the lady? And it's like 17 times of that. And it's like, no, we know Penelope Cruz is a badass female detective in a time where that wasn't normal, but can we not keep wasting minutes of storytelling time to, like, just let her be a badass instead of giving more screen time to the men telling her she's not? Like, that's where I get pissed off about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a whole, like, girl boss scene. And then there's a scene that doesn't make any sense. Like, I loved Annette Bening as Dr. Euphronius. I thought she was fantastic. But it's also Annette Bening, and she's amazing. She ruled. Every bit about Annette Bening's performance was fantastic. But then they they take it and go, okay, well, we're gonna make some other weird side love plot between Jessie Buckley and the other detective that Penelope Cruz is hanging out with, that we're gonna somehow at the last act, the last 8 minutes of this movie, he knows her and it was a love interest for some reason, only to give her motivation to question her relationship with Frank, which now also is like, why are we even watching this movie? And it just felt so... There was too many ideas, too many pieces of spaghetti being thrown at the wall that they just didn't let the one good idea of this movie actually shine. And the thing that kind of also pisses me off, well, there was a dumb scene where she starts a women-led revolution because she goes into a ballroom with a gun and starts yelling at people, and then I guess all these women start painting their face like this, and it's called Brain Attack, and then they start shouting Brain Attack and going around, and girls are shooting guns for absolutely no reason.
Who wrote those words on page and
was like, we're gonna call it Brain Attack.
Money.
And it's just like, okay, if you want to, so The Bride of Frankenstein, originally, if you want to go back and you want to watch that old black and white movie, it's good for a couple of reasons. The bride is only in it for, like, arguably the last 8 to 10 minutes of the movie. The reason that she's such an iconic character is it brings up the question of, number one, you can't play God, right? Which we addressed in the original Frankenstein book. Like, that's the thing. But they took it an interesting twist where they said, not only can you not play God, but you also shouldn't tell women what they're supposed to do, And so The Bride of Frankenstein, they create this woman as a companion to the Frankenstein's monster, but no one ever stopped to ask her. Right? And that's what makes Bride of Frankenstein actually pretty good, is no one stopped to ask her. And so at the end, she's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, here's fire, we're all dead. Like, The Bride of Frankenstein only exists to wake up and go, I didn't ask for this, and I'm killing all of us. And that was really powerful of a message. In this one, she's like, nah, but I'm going to be a big girl boss, see? And then at the end, I'm actually going to fall in love with Frankenstein, which is also stupid. And because she's not supposed to fall in love with Frankenstein, because then if you acknowledge that she's falling in love with Frankenstein, then you acknowledge she probably had Stockholm syndrome, and then it becomes toxic on a whole nother level, because it shouldn't be a romance story. If you're gonna make it a girl boss story, lean into the original story of, like, you're not the boss of me, I got created against my will, I'm gonna live my own life. That's a way better girl boss story than going, well, maybe Frank really loved me the whole time, and then she falls in love at the end, and then they have a magical romance. No, you can't have both. Like, fuck all that. It made it disjointed and weird, and Jake Gyllenhaal tap danced.
Also, when you're dead, why is horny in love a thing?
Well, so they explain that Christian Bale's performance was also really good. I mean, the acting was good. The roles, again, every thespian in this movie nailed what they were supposed to do, right? But what they were supposed to do was stupid. And, his deal is he's been alive for 140 something years, and he's never he's seen and read and done all this stuff, but what he's never really experienced is just companionship.
So he's bored.
He's bored. because he's smart. He's read books, and he loves going to the movie. That's his whole thing. He loves going and seeing Ronnie Reed pictures, which is Jake Gyllenhaal, but he's bored, and he's just like, loneliness is killing me, but I can't die. And so that's where he goes to Annette Bening and like pleads for her to make this monster. So yeah. Anyway, like this. What drives me nuts is this movie could have been so good. Like
that's what I was saying, man. The early short trailers, I was like, could be cool, and then the long form trailer, I was like,
it could have been so good. It could have been way more girl bossy. You know, like it could have been a lot more of a message than what it kept. It kept trying to do too many things. And it just fell apart in trying to have dance numbers and shocking like weird jump cuts and sexy outfits and cool makeup. And Merle asks on Twitch, he says, "How far away from good?" It's far enough away that I wouldn't recommend it.
What if? What if instead?
But it's Frankenstein, and you know I love monsters.
Yeah. What if instead of girl boss, it was just like a good female lead character? Like I'm looking at all of our toys and nonsense, and I got action figures from Glow because that was a good TV show based on real life, where the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, which was really badass. Yeah. I know that behind us we got a Princess Leia and a Mulan. There's apt to be a Ripley around here somewhere.
Oh yeah, she's back there in the door.
And I got an Elvira around, and there's all these things that no one made them girl boss. They're just really badass characters. Yeah, why not do that?
Well,
why not just have her?
I mean, I got a Bride of Frankenstein right there.
Yeah, I mean, they, it made it seem like they were being a Bonnie and Clyde type thing, and people, those are famous figures. Why couldn't they just be like a undead Bonnie and Clyde and leave it at that? And that would be kind of cool.
Vince said, if you had to blame one thing, would it be the writing or the directing? I would say the writing. The directing was actually really great. Visually, it was great. It was stunning visually, honestly. There was a lot of really, really, really cool. Like, watching it was fun, but the writing was really bad because it was trying to do two things at once. It was trying to tell a romantic love story when a man loves a woman, but also fuck all men, girl boss. And you can't do both, you know, and because one starts to shortchange the other. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying that like girl bosses can't have love, right? But the story, the Frankenstein and Bride story, when you are quite literally resurrecting a woman against her will and bringing her into this earth and arguably manipulating and tricking her into pretending that she's your wife, all of that flies out the door when there's also a mob boss story and a Bonnie and Clyde story and this sort of empowerment story where people are going in the streets against mob bosses, which was just so paper thin. It was just trying to do too many things at once, when I think if they had just focused on Frank and Ida or Penelope, if they had just focused on what a difficult love story that could have been, like because if you wanted to just make it a romance movie, like, okay, well, make it about like, and it would have been a little more easy to digest, a little bit more paint by numbers, but I think most romance movies are, where it's like, okay, Frankenstein brings the bride up. He paints a story for her, and they fall in love. But then it's like, oh, like any classic love story, she finds out the truth, that she was dug up against her will, and then she's like, well, I didn't ask for. And it teeters on the precipice of the original, where she's like, no, screw all this, I hate you. And then there's the like separation. You're like, oh well, but then you really find the real reasons for love, and then you come back at the end and it's a romance. Like, but then they could all be running away from society because they're monsters, you know, and everybody wants to kill them, and it's them against the world.
I have like 5 much better movie ideas with this concept in my head right now.
Same. Like I can write
they're like
so
an
many
undead, maybe semi-immortal Bonnie and Clyde kind of a thing,
or just lean fully into that. They didn't do any crime. They were just on the run, you know, because she shot a cop, and because somebody pulled a gun on them, and they you know, they got greedoed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because they're undead. People shun them.
Right.
But they're trying to live their life, and the only way they can make it is by being like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. Man,
and they tried to touch on that a little bit, but it didn't. It turned into a whole like movement where it's like the monsters on the run, and then they're. It was. This movie was just trying way too hard, and by doing so, it wasn't trying hard enough. And so anyway, I mean, we're running out of time with the show. This movie aggravated me because it's a beautiful movie. It's gorgeous. Like, in terms of a neo-noir, it's just so visually pleasing. Like, the makeup from Christian Bale is great. The costume design for the bride is great. The performances are great. But it's like you had all this stuff, and then you just kind of goofed it. So, anyway, The Bride, it's in theaters right now. Like, I feel bad not recommending it, but I don't really recommend it. So, yeah. Let's do the box office. Top 10 movies in America. You know the drill. March 6th through 8th. Jake's going to give you the top 10 movies in the U.S. We'll throw in a little domestic numbers there from time to time. So number 10, let's get it.
Real quick, I want to answer Merle's question because he asked us. He said he likes Uma Thurman and Kill Bill for the most part. Asked if we concur. I don't like Tarantino movies. The only parts of Kill Bill I like.
Kill Bill, but
I liked Hanzo, Hattori, and Pai Mei.
I would say Pai Mei was way cooler.
Yeah. Yeah. Pai Mei was the coolest because mustache fling. At number 10, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle. I'm pretty sure Kimetsu no Yaiba is the title of Demon Slayer in Japanese. Doesn't matter. 1.3 million, 26 weeks out. Back in the top 10.
Back in
136 million total in the U.S. Another 600 million elsewhere in the world. So 735 million so far. At number 9, I Can Only Imagine 2. Third week out from Lionsgate, brought in $1.5 million, bringing it up to $16.2 million. Holding the number 8 spot, Send Help, $1.5 million for its 6th week out. The Raimi Disney combo, $62.6 million. And another 29 elsewhere across the globe, bringing it over $90 million. At number 7, Epic, Elvis Presley in concert. You talked to us about that.
I did, yeah.
$1.5 million in its 3rd week, bringing it up to $11 million here in the U.S. so far. Surprisingly, another $10 million elsewhere in the world. Elvis Lives, $21 million so far. Holding the number 6 spot, Crime 101, $2 million in its 4th week out from Amazon. $33.6 million for that one. Another $31.4. Thank you for your apology.
On Twitch.
$65 million for that one. I'm surprised that one is not just out on Prime already right now.
Yeah, I know, me too.
And then at number 5, Wuthering Heights, 4th week out from Warner Brothers, $3.7 million for that one, $78.7 so far. Another 135 elsewhere across the globe, so $213 million. At number 4, Goat, I don't know how I said it like that. Goat. 6.5 million brought in by that one and its 4th week out, 83.7 so far, 62.5 elsewhere, 146 million right now. I figure, you know what, Goat Boy from SNL might be a better than that. I think it would have done better.
I believe you.
And then opening at number 3, The Bride with an exclamation point on the title. $7 million.
Yeah, man.
From that one, 6.3 elsewhere. 13.3.
$90 million budget on that one too. Yeah.
Going to happen.
No.
And then at number 2, Scream 7, another $17 million. Jeez, what a jump from number 3 to number 2. $93 million in its 2nd week out. Another 56 elsewhere in the world. So just under $150 million so far. You also reviewed that one.
I did last week.
Then taking the top spot with $45.3 million. Another $42 million elsewhere in the world. So already at Frankenstein's budget.
Yep.
Hoppers. The
new Pixar.
Yeah, the Avatar Dreamscape Pixar animal movie. How about it?
There it is. So that's your top 10 movies in the United States and some of the world, and that is our show. We do thank you guys for joining us as always. We've got a big hype train going over on Twitch. We want to thank all of our Twitch viewers.
Right at the end.
Level 4 hype train. We haven't been at a level 4 hype train in a long time. But if you want to like and subscribe wherever it is you want to follow us, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, that's fine. We like Twitch. It's fun. We get it here early. We do some fun sort of pre-showy stuff. So definitely appreciate you guys coming and checking us out. But if you want to just download the podcast, you can download this podcast wherever it is you want to download podcasts. Just search for the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. And we've got a Discord and all that stuff. Everything you need to know is on our link tree, thedriveinspeakerbox.com. So, see you guys IRL maybe. Vince, coming up March 13th to 26th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, 35th anniversary in theaters this weekend. That's right. You got all
Kevin
the
Nash Super Shredder.
You got Vanilla Ice. You got Ninja Rap. All the things. Don't forget to check it out. And we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.